Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the semi-structured, semi-podcast, kind of just hangout called Liberty Libations. My name is Jake Green. I have currently no guests right now. I'm told that a couple will be signing on here in a bit, but we'll see if that actually happens. If it doesn't, it's going to be a short one because I'm not going to live stream for 2 hours straight all by myself talking about these things that I have lined up for us to talk about. First off, if you are interested in learning anything about the Libertarian Party, anything about what we stand for, if you've had enough of Republicans, Democrats, any of this crap that's been going on for the last 3 years, let me share my screen, which I always forget to do from the outset. Go to demandtobefree.com. Sign up for our newsletter. You can learn a whole bunch of information from our website, lpgeorgia.com as well. Head on over there. We got a lot of great resources for you to learn about liberty and kind of broaden your horizons. Also, this year, our convention is actually going to be a festival. It's called The Great Create. It's going to be, well, it's 105 days from now. It's May 12th through the 14th in Perry, Georgia. Here's our website. It's currently being built out. It's, wow, they've made some additions since I featured it on Tuesday's podcast. Pretty cool. Yeah, we're trying to have it be less of a convention, less business-like, less formal, and more like a festival, more like it's a DIY freedom festival is what it says right there. We're going to have a lot of different booths and demonstrations and a film festival and a concert. We're going to have a bunch of people there talking about different aspects of how they are self-sustainable and do things themselves, like farming. I'm going to be there showing people how to build tiny homes in vans or on trailers or just out in the woods somewhere, which is what my wife and I are doing at the moment. So yeah, if you are anybody you know are interested in doing something like that or wanting to set up a booth to feature your business at our festival, please reach out. operations@lpgeorgia.com. All right. I have some pretty depressing news. Here we go.
To midnight. It is now 90 seconds to midnight.
Is this not the most awkward thing? Why would you have just 5 people standing there to a narration pulling down a sheet off of a fake clock that they just invented out of nowhere? Just made up? Like what? Like,
let me now turn the
they're all so solemn and oh my gosh, who are these people and who invented this clock and why did they invent it and what are their calculations? I wonder if they've got to have a website, right? Doomsday Clock. Let's see. Doomsday Clock. I guess that was the thing. I want to know how they calculate it. That's what I want to know. Well, I don't think I'm going to figure that out right now. There are too many. This thing is a terrible website. Let's see. Doomsday Clock is a design that warns the public about how close we are to destroying our world with dangerous technologies of our own making. It is a metaphor, a reminder of the perils we must address if we are to survive on the planet. So let's see. It just keeps going down. Has it ever gotten better? See all past clock times. Let's check this out. Let's see. The first time was in 1947, 7 minutes. 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Up to 12 in 1963. Back up to 12 in 1972. 17 minutes in 1991. What happened in 1991 to make it jump that high? I don't know. Okay. And now, yeah, I mean, part of me agrees with this assessment, but part of me wonders what the frick their calculations are to make them say that, because it's, I mean, just the whole spectacle of it was hysterical. Just that image alone is comedic. How do they not find that humorous? Like, they're trying to be so serious about it, and it's hysterical. Well, first up, if you haven't seen it, we're going to watch this whole Project Veritas video because it is unbelievable. Maybe their best one of all time. So sit back, relax. This is a 10-minute long video, and since I'm doing this solo, we can watch the whole daggum thing. So here we go.
What's going on here? I got like an interview. I know, it's freaking me out. I mean, these like flashbacks to that like sting organization of like those conservative people who would like randomly go into organizations and then like befriend people who work in these organizations and then report them, which happened to people at Pfizer. So it like freaks me out when people start asking a lot of questions about work. It's so scary.
Really? Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Why would that this company?
Because I just want to know the answer.
I'm not glad you're reporting me. Oh my god, Jason, that'd be horrible. You better not be reporting me or something like that.
Hey there. Is this seat taken?
What?
Hi. You work for Pfizer. My question for you is, why does Pfizer want to hide from the public the fact that they're mutating the COVID viruses?
Is this real life? What is happening here?
Why?
What is going on here? This is absurd.
Why does Pfizer want to hide from the public that they're mutating the COVID virus?
Oh my god.
You're on video. You're on video. Mutating
What
the
is
COVID
going
virus.
on here? I need to call the police right now. This is.
And I know this is my restaurant. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on either. This is ridiculous.
So you're on video. I'm a journalist.
Bro, first of all, I'm literally a liar.
He's on video.
Whoa.
You're saying we're exploring how the
Hi,
virus keeps mutating.
Yes,
One of the things
I'm
we're
at a restaurant
exploring is,
right now, and these people brought cameras up.
why don't we mutate the
I don't
virus?
know what's happening. But I really get the cops here right now.
So
What is this?
please do
Do not do this here.
please do call the police. Please do call the police. Please do.
You can't do this here, guys.
Okay.
Not today. No, you can't do this here.
This is
You're gonna call the police. He's gonna call the police for asking him a question. Please do call the police. Please do. He's on tape here talking about mutating the COVID virus. Can I talk to you outside about this?
Absolutely not. And you're not using my likeness on this. What is your name? Because you fucked up. You really did. I'm about to sue you. This is absurd.
Please.
You have someone mock me as if they're going on a date to record me. You don't even know my position at this. I was trying to impress a person on a date
What's your
by
position?
lying. I was literally trying.
Okay.
I'm not even a scientist by background. You know
What
that I
is your
came from a
position?
consulting firm
All right.
that does business.
Please,
This is
please,
absurd.
please don't touch me.
This is absurd.
So-
Please call the cops here.
Please do call the cops. Please do.
Please. This is
Why would you call the cops if you have nothing to hide? So he's obviously having one of the most outrageous reactions I've ever seen in the history of Project Veritas. He's threatening to call the police. Okay, he grabbed the microphone. The question is, why is he calling the police?
Guys, can you just respect my father's
Please
restaurant?
stop.
What?
Can I pay their bill? Can I get a check for their bill?
Wait, no, do not give me a check. No, don't let them leave. Because I want the cops to know this.
Do you want to put me in jail for asking you a question?
Yes, sir.
What is the intention of calling the police?
They have like no one's busy right now. We have several witnesses.
Can I talk to you, please, about this video?
Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white people.
Why would you bring race into this?
Please bring the cops as soon as possible. Very unsafe.
We have you on tape talking about mutating the COVID virus.
No one mutates a COVID virus.
Show you the
That's insane.
May I show you the video?
No, I want to call the police, but please don't have to leave.
Do we have to leave? Okay.
sorry, I asked a question.
No, you cannot just leave.
Are you? Do you want me to?
I want the police to come here and see all of you people.
Do you,
Because this is insane.
can I ask you about this
This is
video?
insane. You
Please.
can tell them about how
Please.
he's lying to impress
Here,
a date.
just was it true what you
What
said?
is this? No. I literally was on a third date with a guy, and like normal men, you lie to impress a date.
Mutating viruses? Do you not work for Pfizer?
This guy, I thought he was a date.
Sir, do you not work for Pfizer? Do you work
I
for?
was a contractor. What the fuck are you
Do you
talking
currently work for Pfizer? Yes or no?
about?
Do you currently work for Pfizer? Yes or no?
What are you talking about here? Please, I want the cops to be here.
So you don't work for Pfizer?
You can do this to people.
He doesn't want me to leave, ma'am.
Don't let them
I
know.
tr-
I want the cops here now. I want the cops here now.
He wants the cops here, but he doesn't want me to leave. So I'm in a little bit of a predicament because she's asking me to leave, but he doesn't want me to leave. So what should we do?
Okay, so these people have I was on a
Hi,
date.
you're on a video
and
here.
These people literally left
Look,
out of nowhere.
Pfizer is
This
mutating the virus.
This is absurd.
Look at this
no,
video.
I literally said that is, what are you talking about?
Well, this is not. By the way,
Why are you doing
don't
this
tell
to
anybody.
someone who's just working in a company to literally help the public?
Why do you want to hide it from the
I don't know
public?
who you people are, and I can't believe I'm going to trust someone.
Why do you want to hide it from the public?
Stop all this stuff aside. I'm a real person.
If you suspect that mutating COVID virus, is this the way the virus started in Wuhan?
Please, and can you please give us a video?
Why do you think it's okay for Pfizer to do that?
We were sitting on a date. Please,
He's filming the restaurant owner right now. He's filming her. I don't know why he's filming her. Would you like me to leave? Because he won't. He's asking me not to leave. And he's consenting to my presence. Ma'am, are we allowed to just stay and ask a few questions? It's pretty remarkable that they call the police on us every time we show up and ask questions. Every time. You say Pfizer is planning on doing research in the future, then claim that there's an ongoing research about that, and that there better not be any more outbreaks. Which is it? Are these experiments happening or not? Calling the police.
We can do it right up front.
Okay.
No, do not leave. Do not leave. Please don't let me leave.
What's that? They locked us in.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. Do you want us to leave or not?
Ma'am, you locked the door.
Ma'am?
Ma'am, we're trying to leave, but you locked us in here.
Call our attorney.
Can you please unlock your door? Let us out.
No, I don't know what's going on. I don't even leave it before I know what's going on. What are you trying to tell me?
Can you please unlock your door?
No, don't let them leave.
Can you unlock the door?
I feel like me. Please, no, don't let them out. Don't let them out.
Could you please let us leave, ma'am?
I don't know what's happening. You can't lock us in.
We'd like to leave. We'd like to leave. Please unlock the door.
Like, see, now they're worried because they know what
No,
they're
it's
doing.
because we're literally being trapped.
Stop. Away from me.
Please unlock the door.
Kim, what is going on
So
here?
stop. Please unlock the door. Please unlock the door. 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 This is remarkable here. Thank you. Thank you. We're trying to unlock the door. Unlock the door. Unlock the door.
It's not okay
Unlock
to
the
put
door.
people like that. It is not. Stop. Let go of me. Now you're hurting me. What is going on here? You cannot just record people like that.
Come on.
It's not okay.
Come on.
It's not okay.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. We're in New York City. This is remarkable what you just witnessed here in the restaurant. Come on, guys. Where's the car? Where's the vehicle?
Keep walking.
Come on. This is insane. You just witnessed one of the most remarkable interactions ever. Do we have the iPad? So we're getting into the vehicle now. Where's our car?
Stop. Stop. That's not them. Stop. Cops, they're right there. No. Stop.
He's charging the guy, charging.
You can't make an arrest at this point if you don't have the victim right here.
Okay. if he was here, you'd arrest that guy?
If he was here, yes.
Oh, then we could just walk away then. Not worry about it.
If that's what you guys want to do, then yes.
Yeah. I don't know how many of those Project Veritas videos y'all have seen, but I've watched a few, and they definitely don't all go like that. Basically, what this Pfizer guy was saying is that they're trying to mutate the virus in order to increase profits and secure their profits for the foreseeable future. And they caught it on camera. And basically what happens is James O'Keefe, shows up, confronts them, and generally they just shut up and run away. I've watched him chase people down the street trying to just get a comment. But that was, I mean, he's right. That was pretty remarkable. That was one of the crazier reactions. And it's these people who, let's go to the next tab. It's people who would say things like this.
Yes, I hear what you say about somebody exercising their freedom not to have a vaccine, and they're perfectly healthy. I don't want them sitting next to me in the theatre. I don't want them standing next to me at the theatre bar. I don't want them next to me or anywhere near me or even in the same carriage on the train. So, yeah, they can exercise their freedom by staying at home.
If you decide that you don't want a vaccine or a booster, then you can decide not to go to hospital however ill you get. And that way, that is your right.
So you would leave the unjabbed at home to die if they had a heart attack, if they suffered from a stroke?
That's their choice.
Dr. Fauci said that if hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
Goodness gracious.
We need to make it clear to them that the vaccine is the ticket back to pre-pandemic life. And the window to do that is really narrowing. I mean, you were mentioning, Chris, about how all these states are reopening. They're reopening at 100%. And we have...
So yeah, a lot of that. And then we got some of this.
Over a 20-to-1 return. If you had put that money into an S&P 500 and reinvested the dividends, you'd come up with something like $17 billion, but you think it's $200 billion.
Here, yeah. You're okay. You're not gonna get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
These vaccines.
Which one they post 2 hours ago.
Effective.
Vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick.
They're really, really good against variants.
Everyone who takes the vaccine is not just protecting themselves, but reducing their transmission to other people and allowing society to get back to normal.
Get your first shot, and when you're due for your second, get your second shot.
A key goal is to stop the transmission, to get the immunity levels up so that you get almost no infection going on whatsoever.
When people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected.
If you're vaccinated, you're not going to be hospitalized, you're not going to be in an ICU unit, and you're not going to die. If you are fully vaccinated, you no longer need to wear a mask.
Anyone who is fully vaccinated can participate in indoor and outdoor activities, large or small, without wearing a mask or physical distancing.
But what they can't do anymore is prevent transmission.
You know, we didn't have vaccines that block transmission. We got vaccines that help you with your health, but they only slightly reduce transmissions. We need a new way of doing the vaccine.
The level of virus in the nasopharynx of a person who's vaccinated and infected is the same level as the level of virus in the nasopharynx of an unvaccinated person.
All right, you get it. But a very interesting article came out today blaming folks who didn't get vaccinated for not adequately informing those who did get vaccinated that there are side effects to getting vaccinated. The unvaccinated knew what we didn't. Some of them said too little. Most said nothing at all. A lot of blood is now on their hands. I mean, it's unbelievable. While well-intending citizens lined up, did the right thing, and received their COVID-19 vaccinations, now seeming to do more harm than good, their unvaccinated friends stood by and let them do it. Some of them said too little. Some said nothing at all, even though they knew what we didn't. Our blood is now on their hands. Those are strong words, but the unvaccinated had access to important information about the potential side effects of vaccines. I mean, like, it's almost something that like the Babylon Bee would write. Like it's almost parody. It's hard to imagine that this is actually real, but I think it's real. Like I think it's an actual article by somebody being serious about this. Yeah, there definitely weren't podcasts and podcasts and podcasts and YouTube channels dedicated to trying to tell people the things that they're mentioning in this article. And that there definitely weren't government agencies colluding with certain social media sites to get those people suppressed. There wasn't any of that going on. It definitely is the unvaccinated's fault for sure. So anyway, thought that was very interesting. On a completely unrelated note, a football player has died suddenly. He was 25 years old. Feel like it's similar to what happened to the Buffalo Bills guy, Damar Hamlin. Is that his name? But fortunately, Damar didn't die. This poor guy died suddenly, but definitely has nothing to do whatsoever with the things that we've been talking about for the past 15 minutes. Not at all. Not at all. Y'all, this is not supposed to be a one-man show, but it is right now. So apologies for it not being all that interesting. I'm just bouncing from one thing to the next, and we're going to end this pretty quick tonight. I've got 2 more random videos that I had lined up, but since there's no one here to bounce ideas off of, I'm not really a solo ramble kind of person. I like a little structure when I'm doing these solo episodes for the Free Georgia podcast and all that kind of stuff. I like to know what I'm going to talk about. And hey, well, I appreciate y'all tuning in. That's very nice. It's good to know that we reach some people. Here is a tweet from the Libertarian Party of Delaware. It's kind of crazy.
Who's right? Next. I'm not done.
She's trying to cut her students' hair forcibly.
Next. Can I pick you out? Oh, no.
Saying she'll kick them out if they don't. And then all her students.
Okay.
Look at this. She grabs her students' hair. Darn right. And why is she singing the national anthem? I'm glad these kids are laughing and not traumatized by a teacher running at them with scissors. I mean, goodness gracious. They're not wrong. Homeschool your children, or at least get to know their teachers and befriend them and make sure they're sane. One more showing the awesome side of the police for sure. There we go. They're at a what should we call it? Parolee's house. They found, what was it, $6,000? Yeah, $6,000. And they're talking about sharing the money. Yeah, if you're a parolee, I would definitely advise putting a hidden camera at your place, a few of them. So I'm pretty sure they have to come by and do checks depending on what your crime was and all that kind of stuff. So Probably a good idea. This thing saved him $6 grand. Or saved her $6 grand. And got these 2 crooked cops fired. More of that. All right. Well, y'all, I'm just going to go. It doesn't look like anybody has the time to hop on here tonight. So, oh, wait, Mac, let's see. Just post it in the comments, man, and I'll copy and paste. I think you can do that. Because I would like to see which video they posted today, because that video that they posted earlier was phenomenal. Let's see. Yeah, I really appreciate everybody tuning in live to this. Generally, we have 3 or 4 folks on here talking about all sorts of stuff and taking the conversations in all different directions. But here we go. Let's see. Yeah. Live chat. I don't know if there is Augusta Richmond County affiliate for LP Georgia. That's a good question. Let me go look. LPGeorgia.com. Hey, man. I'm fine with that. You can come on. Let's see how to get this done. This is going to be an interesting one because I'm just going to post the invite in the chat because I don't know any other way to do it. Actually, let's see. Yeah, because I don't think I can just message you on YouTube. Oh, well, there we go. Whoever wants to join can join in on the fun. There's the link to the stream. It's pretty self-explanatory, quick and easy to log on here. Let's see. I'm trying to find that video that you said they posted a couple hours ago. I just can't, I don't know where they would post it because they don't have a Twitter anymore. I'm looking for, man, there we go. Let's see, Augusta, Richmond County. Let's see here. What's going on?
No, it's working. I was hoping it wouldn't.
Too bad. You lost the lottery. Well, welcome to the stream. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm mildly pissy at Jared. He dropped the ball on adding me to Mises Caucus Discord, so I missed most of your video tonight.
Gotcha.
Jared.
Well, that's all definitely Jared's fault. Oh, and we have another. Hallelujah. Steven, thank
Cheers,
you.
fellas.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Sláinte. All right.
Oh, is Jake drinking tonight?
Jake's drinking mocktail.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. But thank y'all for saving me. I was, in Zach Barnell's words, I was floundering.
So I saw you sharing some cop video. There's a cop that got fired.
2 cops got fired for searching a parolee's house and stealing $6,000, and they caught it on camera.
So I'm old enough to remember there was a Clayton County police officer here in Georgia, a few years ago that found Bigfoot.
What?
Oh yes. Oh yes, that was a big thing. Said he found Bigfoot. It was national news. Turned out to be total horseshit. But he sold a bear paw to I think LSU. No, it wasn't LSU. It was either Texas or Louisiana. There was some research university.
It's got to be Louisiana because it can't be Texas. Texas wouldn't do that.
I bet you could look it up and find it real quick because it was a Clayton County police officer. He was off duty, and you can look up news articles that correspond with this. And apparently, the dude was on medical leave because he said he was chasing a perp through a parking lot and got shot at and fell over. But really, he just tripped over a parking stop and dislocated his elbow or foobarred himself somehow in the arm. And while he was on medical leave, he finds Bigfoot. And so just when people want to talk about qualified immunity, let's give all these guys the benefit of the doubt. I just want to remind you that we've had Clayton County police officers go on Dateline and declare themselves as vampires. We've had Clayton County police officers say that they found Bigfoot.
What's in the water in Clayton?
No doubt. Well, the sheriff, Victor Hill, who is now in jail, who was stripped of his badge. But by the way, while he was serving this term, was elected from jail. His car is in Grand Theft Auto.
What?
The latest version of Grand Theft Auto has Victor Hill this is something he did different too. It was like Eddie Bauer. It was like his autograph was on the sheriff's cars. It didn't just say Clayton County Sheriff. It said Clayton County Sheriff Victor Hill.
Okay.
Patrol car.
I mean, what the heck?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find you a link, and I can send that to you if you can't find it. But you can just Clayton County officer found Bigfoot would be a Google hit, I'm sure.
Let's do that. And Matt,
the guy stood by it, and he was called to the carpet, and they were like, "How is your testimony supposed to be worth a damn in the courtroom right now?" And he was like, "I was selling entertainment. I wasn't acting as an officer."
I've posted that link twice into the chat now.
Into the chat?
Do it a third time if you need.
Hang on. Let me go find it. This is the Project Veritas one, Steven.
Dude has a total meltdown.
Wait, we just watched that one.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, the full one where he freaks out and runs around and tries to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jared. Yes.
Yeah. No, this is all Jared's fault. You can blame Jared for sure. Yeah. Here we go. No, I'll mute it this time because we watched the full 10-minute version of it. But I'll just throw it up there. Yeah, I mean, it got real crazy. Actually, the highlight reel at the beginning is pretty fun.
They're mutating the COVID.
I'm literally a liar. I was trying to impress a person on a date. What kind of lie? This is absurd.
Don't touch me. Well, this is not. By the way,
why are you doing
don't tell anybody.
Literally help the public.
You almost feel bad.
It's going through like the 5 stages of grief in all like 3 minutes.
Please unlock. Please door. Please unlock the door. Unlock the door.
Goodness gracious.
Unlock the door.
Yeah. Steven, did you see that one? No. Steven's gone. I mean, that was crazy. Like, yeah, I was saying I'd never seen a reaction like that to a confrontation by Project Veritas, because normally they just try to run off down the streets of New York.
You know what the business was? Immediately he shifted into, I'm a liar.
Yeah. Which, like, that's a pretty bad defense, because if you're a liar, then you're probably lying right now too. So, like, that, yeah, it's not really going to help you at all to say I'm a liar.
Maybe for that big Pfizer salary, I'd start selling myself out too.
I don't know.
And I wasn't going through that. I had a USB port go dead. Sorry about that. But I was reading about this thing today.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I mean, that's
directed evolution. And please tell me how that's not the same as gain of function.
It's not. It's different words.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. We edit language now. That's rest control of everything.
Yeah.
And you know, the scariest thing about that isn't that Pfizer just got outed. It's that all of their competition is right there in lockstep doing the same crap.
Same stuff. Yeah. I mean, he literally says that they're doing it so that they can keep making vaccines and keep making a profit over the next, decade, 20 years, 30 years, that kind of thing. So it's not even that they're just doing it for research sake. They're doing it literally for profit.
Yeah, well, and that was the WHO had an emergency meeting in like November, December 2019, talking about how global vaccination rates have plummeted and people don't trust their doctors anymore. What are we going to do? And there were some of them that were really concerned that were like, hey, have we done like cross-sectional ethnic studies on certain adjuvants? So like, if you give this demographic this adjuvant and in the same week, this one and this one, what happens? Have we ever done that? And then, everybody was just silent. It's like, okay, so why am I giving 3 trivalent vaccines to my patients when they come in between school semesters?
Exactly.
And thank God there's a few of them saying that.
Yeah. I wonder if like vaccine people have been taking fewer vaccines of all the vaccines, not just the COVID stuff, but like if they stop taking like polio and all these other ones.
Polio. My trust has been eroded.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, there's people who will say that like vaccinations cause all sorts of diseases and problems. And
well, I mean, I think there's actually a federal database that says that.
Could be.
I think it's VAERS. That's the official name for it. And you have to be sponsored by your physician to get entered onto this database.
Didn't that dude in the video from yesterday, like on his date, say something to the effect of he thought the virus was a Wuhan lab leak where they were already screwing around with it for, biological warfare purposes? I mean,
yeah, no, he said that in the video. How do these people not understand? And even in the video, he's saying like, this kind of feels like an interview at times. Like, could you stop asking me questions about work? Like, you're not recording me, right? Like, that would be really bad if you were recording me and all this crap. And it's like, dude, shut your damn mouth if you're that worried about it.
Cats get desperate, to find someone.
Yeah.
Well, and now, tomorrow morning, at least, if it hadn't gone out already, the memo goes out. Hey, if you're an mRNA researcher at any Fortune 100 company, yes, you're being recorded.
Yeah. I mean, all the time. You're being recorded no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. Like, there's some mic picking you up somewhere.
Yes.
And yeah, that's an interesting point. All these companies have been like briefed on Project Veritas now. And this person said, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm a liar is what they told folks to do when they get caught. I mean, really, they should be telling them, shut up and don't say another word and leave immediately. But yeah, it's bizarre. It's really sad. I mean, I don't feel any pity for this guy. Like either he's telling the truth, which makes him a horrible person, or he's lying, which makes him a not great person too.
Oh, he's lying. As he was saying, I'm a liar and I'm a contractor or whatever. They started throwing up screenshots of like his professional listing on the internet.
He's probably just a genuine idiot that outside of academics, obviously, he's probably just an idiot that just landed in like the job of his life. Graduated bottom of his class. He's mired in debt. Just got this dream job, and then like in his mind lands this awesome date, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to brag about everything going on right now. This is great."
Yeah, I mean, I've wanted to impress dates too before, but I've never lied that my company was trying to kill mankind.
Hey, babe, we're killing folks at work, and doesn't make you wet. I don't know what does.
Right? Like, even if he was lying, how is that going to help his case to hook up with somebody? Like, in what
Hey,
world?
girl, Why would you want to go down with the band on the Titanic when you can be in the helicopter?
All the vaccines pulling in mad dough.
It's just pathetic. But yeah, it wasn't Project Veritas that broke the CRT thing that we talked about last week here in Georgia. Were you around for that, Stephen? I think they're the one. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, this guy, not that one. There we go. Yeah, we watched this one last week. This guy saying that he's an evil salesman. He said that about himself. Evil salesman who puts CRT into the curriculum that he sells to schools while claiming it's not CRT. And yeah, the video is astounding because he literally calls himself an evil salesman and that he does this. It's nuts.
Wow.
Yeah. Now it's here in Georgia.
I know it's here, and I know it is pervasive. But I don't see a whole lot. Of course, I'm not going to a whole lot of school board meetings. I'm only really paying attention to about 3 counties top.
Yeah.
I can't imagine this is near as bad as it is in like Maryland or Massachusetts or areas like that. I know it's going on, and I know it's subtle because it's in national programming.
Yeah.
It's there's like 4 bookmakers maybe. So if you get 2 of them, you're getting, if you get the big districts, you're getting over half the country.
Yep.
So,
no, it's, yeah. That's obviously one of the big problems with centralization and like making one entity in charge of education for the entire populace of, 50 states, 300 something million people. Like, it's easy to manipulate it. And it's easy to sneak stuff in. It's easy to not have anybody know what is actually going on inside.
Oh, absolutely. And it's just degradation. Once it seeps through the culture to a certain amount, you can't even have hard academics. Because I'm just a couple of years removed from school for going for land surveying, which is an actual degree. It's based in hard sciences. And I was in school at the same time that there was that big movement around Boston, or it was either Boston or Baltimore. I don't know why I keep mixing Maryland and Massachusetts. I'm so
same thing.
Sorry to my friends from both of those places.
Yankees.
But there was a guy that was saying that the standard map that they pulled down on the whiteboard while you were in school, that was racist. Because it made Africa, way smaller than it really is. And, Russia was way larger than it really is. And Europe is way bigger and all this kind of stuff.
I mean, it does do that, but in what way is that racist? That's just the easiest
exactly.
way to put
Everything's
racist.
But they were just saying it's because we were shrinking Africa so much proportionally, because Africa is like twice the size of Russia or something.
That was a laziness thing, though, right? Like it was a space-saving thing, not a
space-saving
fuck you
There's
thing.
different types of maps. And so that type of map, that projection is built to preserve bearings. So east is true east, north is true north. And so you have to exaggerate the size to wrap it around not being flat.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there's some really crazy maps out there too. I was trying to look one up, but yeah, I mean, they have some that actually show the relative size of everything, but it does mess with the coordinates and like gets you all out of whack if you try to navigate by it. So that's why they chose that one.
Right. And they all have a purpose. And that's, and if you pay attention to geography past 7th grade, you're exposed to this.
It's dangerous having me on screen, by the way, you guys, because I'll start shifting into some Graham Hancock shit that you might not want to be discussed.
I love some Graham Hancock shit. That's great. I'm fine with that. I just watched. Did you watch Ancient Apocalypse?
Oh yeah,
every episode, multiple times. I binged it multiple times, hoping to get the numbers up.
Yeah, no,
I binged it when I wasn't in the room. Not joking.
It's super interesting.
Yeah, it really is. And I was a fan of his Joe Rogan interview years ago, but I was following him before that because that was what were the Zechariah Sitchin books?
There you go. There's an alternative map.
There we go.
That's a bizarre
See,
one.
and they all have a purpose.
Yeah, this one's so you can actually see Antarctica.
Well, and that one is because, well, yeah, you can actually see Antarctica. But, well, let's see, because that's not east and really true east.
Yeah, no, you could not tell direction with this one.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be if it were flat, I guess.
I guess so. What else we got? Let's see. Yeah,
The Zechariah Sitchin books, Eric von Daniken, and then oddly enough, Ancient Aliens is how I came into Graham Hancock.
Really?
Before he was ever on Rogan.
The Piri Reese map.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes, sir. Where Antarctica was grasslands with giants painted on it.
Yeah.
I foxed with that ish.
Yes. Yeah. This was one of the cool things in that TV series that they talked about. That and that episode where they talk about going down into those man-made caves in Turkey and how they're all freaking connected over like miles and miles. That was nuts. Those caves are insane. Anybody who hasn't watched Ancient Apocalypse, if you have Netflix, go watch it because it's interesting to say the least.
There's a reason why most of mainstream archaeology is railing against it and him, and it's because they're scared.
That kind of crap drives me nuts. Like,
well, the crazy thing is they're calling him a conspiracy theorist from this show, but the show, all he's doing is saying, this is what we found.
Yep.
These are the questions. He made no theories.
No.
And
it's crazy. Like that.
And Bimini Road, I mean, like that sounds, I mean, it's a couple of years, but 10-year anniversary stuff, man. I mean, my wife need to get dive certified. That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
It's only 30 miles from Florida? Really?
He absolutely just presented facts. You're darn right. It was interesting, definitely interesting, and it's weird to see the same tactics used like to cover up COVID and the vaccines and all that used on Graham Hancock. Like, it's bizarre. Like, I don't know why people are scared of knowledge. Like, if you're so confident in what you think and what you believe, then just like be able to defend it. It's not that hard. Like,
their cognitive dissonance clicking in.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it is just a fear thing, and they're just living in denial, I guess. I don't know.
Because they don't really believe it, or they couldn't tell you why.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think most people don't dive into what they think they believe enough to actually be able to defend it.
Right. And so they're gonna repel discomfort.
Yeah. Like there's
what you're telling me rings true with my soul.
Yeah.
It's got this certain feel to it that is unmistakable. Yeah. But I don't like you because this is what I think currently.
Yeah.
Were you invoking gospel hymns just then? I had a flash.
I would never have hosted these podcasts like my first 6 months of being a libertarian or, going the liberty route, because I had no idea how to defend and like actually talk about it. You have to study this stuff for a long time in order to actually be able to discuss it intelligently. Not that I'm doing that very well at all.
It takes quite a while to advance beyond the point of just answering every question with, am I being detained?
Right.
I'm trying to hold my profanity back, but I don't know ish about F.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm not sure anybody does. I don't think anybody knows anything really. I mean, I do know Bitcoin's the best currency there is, but that's pretty much it.
I told you, Shane hit me up about Bitcoin. No, it was an imposter posing as Shane.
Of course it was. They do that. He gets a lot of spam accounts. It's weird. Yeah, that's an unfortunate side effect of social media.
He pissed off a whole lot of people.
He what?
Both times he ran for office. Talking about Shane.
Yeah, no, he did.
And I love that man. And I wish all the people he pissed off voted. That's
what?
Because they probably would have voted for him.
Interesting.
The ones that are so mad, you're not a real libertarian. Whatever.
Someone on Twitter just posted.
You didn't free him
on
hard
his
enough.
page. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, what was that, Mac?
Someone on Twitter just posted on his page. Well, I don't know just when they did it, but I just saw it that they were railing against him, talking about you want to talk about all these things that are wrong, but you don't want to say what you're going to do positive when you get in the office. And I just simply replied, dismantle.
Yes.
That's
he also said it
like
600 times. He said it every single speech he ever made, like 50 times during the speech, he would say what he's going to do. That's an absurd statement. Like, I have it on camera. Like, it's in
because he didn't name procedures, and he wasn't talking about bills.
Yeah,
he's talking about leaving people alone, and that's frightening.
Yeah, that's the thing. They want to know what laws he's going to enact, not what laws he's going to repeal.
I feel like such a turd. I thought his debate with the other two candidates was one of those stitched together green screen joints that so many of the others have to do because they have no choice. And then I just realized it was real. And I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was awesome. I regret not seeing it when it was fresh.
Yeah, no, that was a great debate.
It was badass.
When he's talking about the Prussian model of education, I was like, oh my God. I was sharing it with family. You got to say this.
The only thing he says more is violence and coercion. He does say that. Maybe Bitcoin.
He owned them at every single turn. He owned them, and it, if not for the duopoly being entrenched with its brainwashing,
it was very interesting because I was in the room. He was given one person allowed in the room with him, so I went to film it, and Stacey Abrams and Kemp were allowed like an entourage in the room. And they had like handlers and all that kind of crap. And you could see Abrams' hands like shaking before the debate. Like she was nervous.
Lord forbid the people hear the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. They both did well. Shannon Chase. Well, yeah. But he technically had an opponent and he just wasn't there.
Right.
It would have made him shine even more.
In all fairness, and look, I'm a Dogs fan through and through, but even when he's there, he's not really there anymore.
No. What does that have to do with?
I can't.
That campaign was terrible, man. It was sad.
He went on for 3 minutes during a speech about vampires.
It was sad. It's very sad. It's like watching Chuck Liddell try to fight again.
I will not comment on this subject. Go Dogs.
No, I loved him as a football player. Don't run for office.
Absolutely.
It's just not difficult.
And Chase did great. And I think David Rodabaugh did well too. He's one of the sleepers in the fold.
He kills it. I've been to a few events with him, and first of all, he's handing out product to people left and right.
Yes,
full on product, like not legalized product.
The guy's a straight up entrepreneur, and he's oozing with charisma. He's so cool, and he knows what he's talking about.
Chris Nails Steven says, "I thought we were friends."
You were dissing Herschel.
Ooh, yeah, he was a Herschel guy. I got him with that one.
Gotcha. There's nothing good about Herschel's campaign or the other Warnock's campaign.
I mean, he didn't even use like the hashtag. The ballot isn't heavy. I mean, that would have been golden for that guy.
Yeah.
Looks like we have a lot of people who know each other in the comments.
Yeah, that's some of my friends.
Okay, nice. No. Well, thanks for bringing them.
Happy to help out.
Did you have topics you want to talk about tonight, Stephen?
I mean, I brought up one of them with the Clayton County cops. It was just convenient. Yeah. You were playing, something about police. Yes. And I was just talking about, hey, I understand. I'm from a law enforcement family. I understand the whole qualified immunity. to a certain extent, but when you got guys going on Dateline saying they're vampires, I'm sorry, man. Like, your testimony is kind of questionable.
Right.
So I'm ignorant on this. Who was talking about vampires on Dateline?
There was a Dateline a few years ago. This guy was, and because they blur out the face, and he had just gotten off work or he'd driven from work. I don't know. And he's in the chair, and like the face is blurred out, and you can see the Clayton County badge, like on like what they post on YouTube. You can see the Clayton County badge. And homeboy's on there talking about he's a vampire.
That he himself.
Yes. And that's why he works night shift, because he's good at it.
Shut up. Yes.
These are the people they hire in Clayton County. Dude, I can't find it on YouTube.
They might have taken it down.
Yeah, a good vampire movie.
Scroll through a whole bunch.
I will find this.
Are you Clayton County?
No. I'm close to it. I'm close enough to, like, yeah.
Let's see. Any of you watch the Classical Liberal Caucus stream with Chase, 101st Libertarian podcast?
Have to check that out.
Didn't tune into that one.
Chase has been killing it. He was on Eric Von Hessler.
I don't know who that is.
A few weeks ago. He's syndicated in Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
WSB is. He was from the regular guys back in the day. You know, it was a rock and roll show early morning.
Von Hessler doctrine.
That's right, and he would always cut in with the news bits, and he had kind of this Dennis Miller thing going on where he was, you know, cynical and you know, quick-witted and all that kind of stuff, and that the other show collapsed, and then he kind of fell in, like after Neil Bortz retired, there was just a damn vacuum here in Atlanta, and
interesting.
They kind of stepped, so they started creeping him into the daily news breaks here and there at certain drive times, and then the next thing you know, he's got his own show, and you know, he brings a couple of the folks with him.
What happened to Monica Perez? She used to be
She's on the weekends. They still broadcast her.
Yeah, she's around still.
And
she did propaganda
Binkley on not long ago.
Yeah, I had Binkley on a couple times, or I went on his show, and he came on Free Georgia podcast to talk about Abrams before the election. It was great. Gave us all history on everything she'd done. It's a good episode. If you don't know about her, all of her stuff, you know, in the past, it's a good episode to go watch. We got a question, Stephen, from your buddy Chris. What's y'all's stance on the U.S. giving all this money to Ukraine?
I'll comment.
Bold of you to assume it's the U.S.'s money.
Well,
Team America, World Police.
That's right.
I mean, let's just assume it is the U.S.'s money, because it probably is. I mean, we are giving them tons and tons of equipment as well.
Yes, over the last 100 years, the definition of the word money has been blurred quite a bit. So yeah, sure, it's our money, absolutely.
But I mean, not my chair, not my problem. That's what I always say.
Yeah, I would venture to guess that none of us would like us to be sending money to Ukraine. Money, weapons, ammo, any of that crap.
None of it. Why is it my problem? Wait a second. So we're going to write a blank check to, last time I checked, which you know, apparently was probably pre-COVID, was the child trafficking, money laundering, political corruption hub of the planet.
Yeah.
Let's give them a blank check so they can fight for their freedom.
Against a superpower who's been threatening to use nuclear weapons since the start of this whole thing. Like, what's the point of this?
We're the only ones using that narrative. I mean, if you go on RT, they're not talking about let's nuke the U.S., let's nuke the West. They're saying, why do they want to nuke us?
Interesting.
What ground?
Like, the narratives are not even lining up. Like, it's not. There's nothing in our favor on this one other than we're trying to maintain control of former Soviet biolabs.
That's it. That's our propaganda we're putting out to fool the people into going along.
I mean, like the only actual facts that can be verified is like that. That's it. It's just like NATO has to expand because there's old Soviet biolabs. I don't know. And if you don't believe me, before the theory even circulated big news, the State Department officially denied it.
I believe you. I don't get how they're pushing any like reason that can possibly. I'm at a loss for words over it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. And no, it's definitely not all going to Ukraine. I do know that a bunch of, I mean, some of it is going to Ukraine, but not the actual government. So I do know that a whole bunch of their officials suddenly have chateaus in Switzerland.
Yeah, you can get me on my my conspiracy theory tip again. So, Biden and family were deeply in bed with Ukraine, right? That's the cat he was, or the country he was bragging about in the past about getting the cat ejected from office or arrested or something like that. It goes back years, right? So like they don't want Ukraine to fall because they don't want all of their dirty laundry coming out in part, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that could totally be it. I mean, especially after the 2014 coup that we helped, like that whole thing.
Well, and they're trying to wrest control because China had agreements with Russia to run gas lines into Europe, and they're trying to wrest that away and do deals with Middle Eastern countries.
Yeah. And isn't Russia and China threatening to go off the dollar?
It's the BRICS alliance, right? Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
Yeah.
But Brazil under Bolsonaro or anyone like him is not, they're with the US.
Well, yeah. And I think, didn't Brazil and Argentina just agree to start their own CBDC together?
You're ahead of me on this one.
I think that happened yesterday
That's
or today.
scary. That's scary.
Yeah. And I think,
I mean, there's an old phrase, rich is an Argentine, right? I mean, like they've got resources. If you're talking about actually pulling stuff out of the earth, Argentina's got it, man. Good luck getting to it. You got to have some technology.
I got to look this up because I'm pretty sure Argentina and one other country decided to create, or in talks at least, to create a combined central bank digital currency for their two countries.
Wow.
It's one of their neighboring countries.
Well, so I remember reading, I was following Forex at the time. Actually went to a local school in Atlanta, or in the Atlanta area, on how to trade Forex. And I just started paying attention to it, and I'd gone through the whole education program. I'd just come out of the training simulator, and I was doing real money stuff. And 3 months later, COVID happens, and all of the technical analysis they taught me went out the window. And it was interesting. And then there was a class action suit against them, all kind of stuff. It was crazy, but undeniably something has happened to the currency in the last 10 years in particular. Like, without any conspiracy theories, these are hard facts.
Yep.
You just got to look at just look at the sheets. Forexfactory.com is a good aggregator for like international financial news.
Okay.
You can track anything on currency, precious metals, crypto. Like, they aggregate all that stuff. Because I'm going to be honest, I did have the FTX app on my phone because it was such a good news source.
Oh,
and I'm really upset that it's bugging out right now.
Yeah, that's not surprising at all. But yeah, see, Brazil, Argentina to discuss common currency, and it would be a CBDC. So I guess it hasn't happened yet, but it looks like they're exploring the idea. Oh yeah, there we go. You were correct. They said they're studying it. So that's kind of terrifying. That just can't be good for. I mean, that can't be good for either of those countries. I mean, it can't be good for any country.
I know there's been at least one state that has gone so far in the last 10 years as to set up their own centralized state bank.
Okay.
And admittedly, when they set that up, they admit, they have press conferences, disclosures, whatever, that it's in the event of a federal collapse that they still have a state bank. cool. But also, hey, Georgia, let's do this. You know, I understand the GBI didn't like it too much when we had a state defense force set up in the early 80s.
What was that?
Oh yeah. No. Georgia has its own subsect of the National Guard. It's like the Georgia State Defense Force. Clark Howard, one of our consumer advocates here in the state, that's always doing stuff on the news, talking about raising money for underprivileged kids, or philanthropists, money saving stuff. He had a radio show. He's always pushing this Georgia State Defense Force.
Was that the people that got called in today to defend Atlanta?
They answer directly to the governor.
Okay, well, he called people
in that event. Yeah. So it's kind of like a paramilitary wing that answers directly to the governor. I'm actually kind of cool with this concept because it is the bonus army, essentially, which is also why GBI was not cool with this, because in the 80s, there was an outbreak. I mean, there was an outbreak back then of some skinheads around the metro Atlanta area. Like, they were also a paramilitary force. And that's why Howard Stern later got one of them on his show. The guy was from down here. He's from Stockbridge.
Interesting.
Yeah. Daniel Carver. He was the Grand Wizard.
Not a
he,
fan.
He was the guy that was on Howard Stern's show. But
give guys a really bad name,
Yeah, but that, GBI back then was like, oh, wait a second, there's a militia forming. They only answer to the governor, and it's Georgia State Defense Force.
Steve, are you now, or have you ever been a member of law enforcement? You have to tell me if I am.
I am not, nor have I ever been.
What do y'all think about this whole occupying this weird little forest area in Atlanta to keep the cops from building their compound and then opening fire on them?
I mean, I'm all about some bushcraft skills, some going to the land, but not that.
Have you seen this video of this? The Daily Show actually went into the camp.
I saw the video of the car on fire in front of the Chase Bank on Peachtree.
No. So I'm trying to find the clip, but the Daily Show visited the Antifa camp, and they have tree houses, and they have a bingo night. They do yoga and get massages.
Do massage? I'm there.
Yeah. I got. Oh, here we go. I found it. Yes. All right.
I'll wear all black for a free massage.
This is freaking bizarre, man. Let's see.
Because these cats ain't shitting in the woods.
Dude, so we actually brought up this area.
So that's what it's really about. So it's not because. So I heard something that they were concerned with some kind of ancient cultural grounds, something or other.
No,
but really it's because they're homeless and that's their treehouse.
Yes. No, it's all ridiculous.
High up.
What's that?
High up.
Yeah. No, I mean,
a little bit impressed by that.
And listen,
I'm
actually full on ANCAP. I'm not just libertarian, but
okay,
doing what I do for a living, surveying and stuff. I'm going to tell you, the state of Georgia is one of the best land preservers in the state of Georgia.
Nice,
if not the best, with their properties. So if they were really concerned about environmental protection, they write the rules. They have to follow all of them. And I can tell you they do on that.
But I mean, what's hilarious is that the beginning shot, they were just walking down the belt line. Like, that belt line goes from, South Atlanta all the way through Piedmont Park and all that stuff, all the way up to basically where I live in Dunwoody. Like, that the forest that they're preserving is tiny. I mean, it's tiny. I could run from one side to the other in 2 minutes.
From what I read, it was a third of the project.
Well, it's a
of
tiny
what they were
area.
putting in conservation.
It's a tiny area. We had it pulled up last week, and I can't remember
Half an
exactly
acre.
where it was. I mean, it's so small. It's
quarter of an acre.
It's they make it seem like they're going off into the woods, but literally you could throw a rock from the sidewalk and hit them. Like they're just not that far off.
So I mean, it's not environmentalists. Like, let's be honest, it's homeless commies.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
You need to go outside, buddy. All right, guys, I'm getting my ugly face off here. Next time, I'll try to have a tripod if ever you need. And if you want to talk conspiracy theory, I'll definitely come back.
Sweet. We'd love to have you, Mac. Thanks for hopping on and saving me.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it's good to meet you. We'll see you next time. Later. All right, Steven.
Yes, sir.
I've got nothing else for tonight. If you have stuff you want to talk about, let's go for it. If you have random things that pop into your brain, but I blew through my stuff when I was doing solo.
Yeah, I'm sure that happens. Yeah. That's just about all I got. I mean,
Nick had a rant that he had prepared, but he had to go to the bylaws meeting, so he couldn't be here to give it. He has a big problem with all these conservatives coming out and saying that, like, what was he saying? Like, drug dealers deserve the death penalty or deserve to be beaten or thrown in prison or something. Let's see.
Well, and there's
right-wing media figures openly advocating executing drug dealers and other people they don't like, and all kinds of other insane stuff.
Oh gosh. Well, so there's another local talk show host around here that's syndicated on radio around Atlanta, and that was one of the things he was talking about was there was a Republican that reintroduced the fair tax.
Okay.
And this is U.S. House, and he was just, hey, all these years I kind of kept my mouth shut out of respect for Neil Bortz, but I always thought this was just a pipe dream because you're never going to get the 16th Amendment repealed.
Yeah.
Well, and he dedicates 30 minutes of his show to like, I like this bill, but there's no way it's ever going to happen. But it was like 30 minutes of his show. And I'm just like, oh, that's slick. Cause like either he really wants it.
Yeah.
And his party sponsors told him to shut up. Or, I don't know what, but it's just crazy because it's exciting to me because that was the one that got me to start paying attention was the fair tax bill. I was Dad always had Neil Bortz on AM radio when I was in the truck, and I hated it. And then it just kind of like after I got out of high school and I really started getting the paycheck, that's when I was like, wait a second.
Wait.
I remember there was a guy that was talking about this, and then I start listening to him, and then he is actually a co-author with Georgia Senator John Linder on the fair tax bill, HR 25, which is the most researched piece of legislation in U.S. history.
Interesting.
And it deals with just not having an income tax at all. No property, nothing based on income, no property taxes, no any of that. Everything, all taxes are collected at the point of sale only.
Oh yeah.
So you remove all the embedded taxes, prices drop 15 to 18%. You put what they proposed was a 23% tax on all things at the point of sale, but you're keeping 100% of your paycheck. And if you earn below a certain level, you get a rebate for taxes you would pay on like bread, milk, and water and stuff. And
interesting.
Yeah. And the Republicans are bringing that back up. And it's really cool it's being debated because what it's going to do is going to let all of us know which Republicans favor the 16th Amendment.
Yeah.
We're going to take a stand. We are upset. We're done. We love freedom, but income taxes are great. It's the price we pay in a civilized society. It's going to be really cool hearing a lot of Republicans say that, but at the same time, it's going to let us know where the Democrats are on how far are they willing to flex.
Right.
Are they really, the party of analysis? Are they going to look at the bottom line and see it's revenue neutral from the day it's implemented? Because, everybody that's off the grid currently, if they consume, they pay taxes.
Yep.
You don't want to pay, you want to be a part of this tax base. You're not going to consume here.
Yeah.
It's not based on what you own or what you earn. Those are silly things because there's people that can technically not do any of that.
Yeah. Big time.
So many. And so it's going to be cool hearing that debate. I understand it's a long way to go, but it's going to be cool seeing seeing where they land on that,
Mm-hmm.
and then hearing the state repercussions on all that too.
Yeah, then you get to you're right. You get to see exactly who is not who they say they are, or not. They don't believe what they say they believe. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm looking at the bill right now. Like this one says in 2019, 2020, HR 25.
I mean, there's a whole book.
Yeah, no, there's tons of them. Interesting. Well, that's cool. But yeah, what I was talking about before, it was Matt Walsh saying, just beat petty thieves and kill the drug dealers. It's like Matt Walsh, smart at some stuff, needs to shut up about that for sure. Well, yeah, man. Thanks for hopping on.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Let's give a shout out again. I did this at the beginning, but I'm trying to do this a lot more. To the Great Create. It's the Libertarian Convention this year. Turn it into a festival. Did you know about this, Stephen?
I'm just finding out right now.
Beautiful.
I've literally been asking about this for weeks.
I just started promoting it on Free Georgia Podcast this past week. So, we're calling it the Great Create. It's going to be more of a festival vibe. So we're going to have like booths there with businesses who are all about like DIY and self-sustaining and creating your own, like basically homesteading, that kind of stuff, like creating your own life, not being self-reliant, basically.
Cool. So I hopefully I can hook Elizabeth up with the Craft Brewers Guild.
Hey, please email Elizabeth or message her or whatever. We want all sorts of vendors and people there because we're trying to sell it as a festival. And we're going to do far less businessy things. We'll have one day of business at the end, obviously, because we have to. But the rest of it will be far more festival related. We're going to have a film festival. We already have a bunch of, here, I'll show you. We already have a bunch of films lined up. We got some Daywalker comedy, some Tuttle Twins, Monopoly on Violence, my movie, Divide and Dominate. We're going to get a few more. We're going to have some musical acts. Haven't lined those up yet, or don't have them on the website at least. We're going to do some live podcasting, live stream this one with hopefully a crowd. Shane's going to do Radical and Free Georgia Podcast. We've got some good speakers. John Vaughn, Shane, Edgar Mills, and John Mons are all coming. I'm going to be there. My other business, Vanarchy. We build tiny homes in the back of vans, buses, that kind of thing. So I'm going to be there displaying one of our creations.
Wait a second. Do you have a YouTube channel for that?
Not yet. We're trying to get enough builds done in order to be able to actually have content.
Okay. You have a doppelganger that does, and my wife makes me watch them build out these vans. And I was like, wait a second. Now that you said that, whoa. But, okay.
I did make 3 videos of me building out my first van way back in the day. Like, I don't know, 8 years ago at this point. So I've been doing this a while and I love it. So there's a lot of freedom come from like being able to get in your van and have your house with you and just drive wherever the frick you want to go.
I have some old friends that did that, and they because they had a 15-year mortgage. They had it for about 7 or 8 years.
Yep.
Property values popped where they were, and they sold that and got this van, got everything they owned or needed in that van.
Yep.
Had so much money in the bank, and they've just been on the road ever since.
Yeah, you can do that big time.
Because it was like, she does marketing and he's a mechanic. And so it's like you can do that anywhere in the country.
Anywhere. Yeah, it's wonderful. I've traveled all over in mine before me and my wife got married. So it's pretty sweet. Like you get to open your back door and have a view of mountains one day, desert the next, big city the next day. It's pretty cool.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. It's not for everybody. Like your bathroom is 1 foot away from your kitchen.
Yeah.
But you do have a full shower, depending on how you make it. Full shower, bathroom, kitchen. Like we got gas stove, big old fridge, all sorts of stuff. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna be promoting the crap out of this. We're trying to get a whole bunch of people coming, and we do have guests coming the next 2 weeks on Liberty Libations. Zach, remind me who they are. I forget who they are.
I've been told a couple of names, but
let's see.
I don't want to say something wrong.
He told me earlier, but it's not in my chat. I think we did it in Mises Mayhem. Let's see. Dadgummit. Who's coming next week? Dave Casey. Okay. I didn't know that one. And Sarah Higdon after that. All right. So next week will be Dave Casey will be joining us. Stephen, you're more than welcome to join us as usual. You might as well be a co-host at this point, man. You're on here almost every time.
Glad to do it.
Yeah.
I'll bring some kind of insight every time I get. I'm always pissed off about something, so it's easy to just, when you say, "Hey, what's on your mind?" I have something at least.
I love it. And Nick Soselsky should be here next week. They don't have bylaws meeting next week, so he'll be able to give his big old rant. Yeah. So Dave Casey next week, Sarah Higdon the week after that. So keep tuning in to Liberty Libations. Free Georgia podcast comes out every Tuesday on every podcast platform. Or if you want to watch the premiere of each one, you can watch it on YouTube at 7 p.m. on Monday nights. Keep tuning into that. Don't forget about the Great Create. Go to demandtobefree.com if you would like to learn more information about the Libertarian Party of Georgia. Stephen, you got anything?
That's all I got. I would say, Libertarian Party of Georgia. Thank you for Chase Oliver for bringing national attention to it recently.
Heck yeah.
And all the candidates from the previous cycle. Shane Hazel, David Rodabaugh, Emily Anderson, everybody that ran, Ryan Graham.
Everybody.
If I'm missing names, I'm sorry.
I mean, there's tons of names. You're missing more than half of them.
There we go. Exactly. It was a lot. It was so much, and it's amazing. Very proud of what we're doing. Very proud to be a part of it any way I can. And if you're down here on the south side, Fayette County, we're having our meeting this Saturday, which I know is 2 days from now, but it's down here at the Lion Creek Bus Barn, noon. Find us on Facebook. Libertarians Fayette County.
I love it. All right. Well, that's it for tonight, y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next